It's Jack Black, by the way.
Jack Black.
Rock of Ages.
Hey, how come that was a 10-second countdown? It was like 5 seconds on the screen.
That's because you don't know when this goes live, and you gotta
welcome to the Contagion Effect.
Eric is still sore.
What's up, buddy?
How you doing, buddy?
We're getting through it.
We're getting
through it, man.
As you freeze again, we got to get you a new laptop so you can connect directly into the internet instead of this Wi-Fi stuff. So welcome to the Contagion Effect, as Eric said.
Mike.
And we talk to veterans. We talk to people who love to focus on mental health. Maybe not love to focus on it, but can definitely talk to it and talk through how they've got through their own struggles, right? So we're excited for today's show and our guest today. It's gonna be another good one.
Yeah, it'll be structured, unstructured ability. We're going to go into whatever.
It's going to be all over the place. You can already tell with some of the energy.
Yeah, and I think that's good because as much as it's cool to have PowerPoints and this and that, and you just go with it and get that.
We have never had
bro, come on. I'm sure you got notes over there and stuff like that.
I memorize everything. And then I'm old, so then I forget it.
Yeah. Well, I'm the offliner.
So real quick, how was your week?
It was my week was good. I only worked 2 days, so that was cool, but
that's
not really cool because
you only worked 2 days.
I didn't feel real well Sunday, so I had to hack in. I still got the cough, and I've taken like 5 COVID tests, so I'm all negative.
You only need to take one.
No, I get it. I know how it is, but when they're free, you just take as many as you want and
just take them as much.
Do it.
Yum.
So, the drink of the day though is definitely going to be water.
Yeah, so. Water is
welcome.
Unfortunately, no wines or beers today.
No mimosas.
Some
fresh.
What were you drinking last week? You brought some kind of alcohol.
Yeah. What was that? I forgot.
It was effing vodka.
Oh yeah, it was like I bought it because of the bottle. So if you want to catch me and we want me to buy something, just make the bottle cool because I don't know what the hell it was.
Just make a cool bottle.
Yeah. They had that pink thing that had the vodka, and then
right.
So
right.
Yeah, I don't even know what the hell it was, but yeah, no, dude, I'm super excited to talk about today's guest.
Absolutely.
How you doing?
It's been a long week. I had a terrible sports weekend. Dude. My sports weekend sucked ass. I'm just gonna put it out there.
If you had a football team. If you had a pro football team, they probably would have lost too.
No, well, and I told I'm obviously not a fan of the Raiders. Paparazzi is, right? So I blamed it on them because on the Monday night, they were off this week.
Yeah.
But on Monday night before, they lost like last minute. Yeah. And so I looked at Paparazzi and said, bad omen. What up, Scotty? Scotty?
All I'm saying, dude, you guys have won 111 games. And we're ahead of that second place team by 22 games.
It doesn't matter.
He's got
the Mariners, though, 116 games. Yeah, but Andrew Friedman already said he's staying. No, but then we lost Friday night, the high school.
The high school one was tough. A couple makeup.
No, what made it tough was another bad omen. So as the JV game is ending, a large man, I'm not going to say his name, a large man, I don't know if you know him, but Jamie and I and Coach T were sitting there and we just heard a thud, and it's a sound I'll never forget. And a very large older man had a heart attack on the ramp going up to the bleachers, and he fell straight back.
Backwards.
Still on the ramp.
Dude.
You could tell he hit his head, everything. He was blue. His son had to get on top of him, give him CPR. They got him back to life.
Oh, wow.
And and then we saw the comments. He ended up having to have bypass and was doing good on Sunday. Yeah. So
wow.
But again,
I didn't hear that one.
The minute, right? A few minutes, the boys are warming up, and our JV still playing. It happens, and everything, all the chaos is happening while the varsity team was warming up. Yeah. So I was just like, and then USC lost last second. Like, it was terrible sports weekend. Yeah. Other than that, we made some headway on.
But we made it through. I see Angelic Wines has a new video out. Y'all go check out angelicwines.com
or TikTok
or
Angelic
Instagram.
Wines or Instagram.
Go check it out.
Well, and speaking of that, we can run that commercial real quick.
Let's do it.
And then come back and get started because I'm excited. I gotta get some more energy to that song.
Dude, okay, so the bottle pop gets me all the time. I know. Hold on. Yes, hold on.
Oh.
Yeah, see, there's a couple comments right now.
All right.
So first thing, I commented last time on it. The bottle pop gets me.
Yeah.
And then pouring that wine, I gotta go take a pee. It makes me want to go pee, right?
You need to take a break. Right?
Yeah. So no.
You're
so
getting old.
Scotty Hastings, what is up?
Oh, that's
Love
right.
you,
He
my man.
did actually mention.
He did mention he is part of the CVMA 18-1 out of Nashville.
Look at that. We're gonna make connections across the country.
Telling you.
Continuing it.
I'm telling you. And hi, Nana, love you.
Yeah.
And yes, she is still stuck in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Who this is like the third week that she's been there, and she still hasn't met up with Scotty Hastings.
How dare her?
At Moxie's from 11 to 2 for lunch.
Nana Penny, you have
you
to
gotta
go
make
see
that
Scotty.
happen. I'm telling you.
You gotta go check out Scotty. Go support
my whole
him.
family is like the whole family was back there for the wedding.
For the wedding. Now you're talking
I'm
like
glad you caught that. For the wedding.
My whole family is back there for the wedding. What are they wetting on?
Well, they didn't wet on each other, so that's good. They found someone outside the family.
All right, dude. We can't. We don't want to waste any more time listening to us.
Yeah,
because we got some really cool people coming up. So
a super important organization, an association that's here in the valley.
Go into intro first, buddy.
Damn it. Go ahead.
And Scotty's going out of town, so don't go see him now, Nana Penny. We haven't even got to him. We'll come back. All right. So
we still got to intro this show.
Exactly. You're like
go
jumping
for
ahead.
it.
Yeah, the times and places they may change, but one thing stays the same. The stories that they tell about going through hell. If you think they wouldn't do it all over again, well, you just don't know them. The memories that they own of the ones who didn't make it home, it sure do miss them, but they keep them all living in the stories that they tell.
All right, now you can do it.
Thanks, Scotty.
Go handle your business.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce an association that is a very, very important part of the getting outside of the military and finding yourself. We'll just jump into it. The Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association. You can find them at www.combatvets332.com out of Stockton, California. I'd like to introduce Ryan and Samara.
Why did you struggle with your name? At least it was
wrong 3 times.
At least it was Samurai.
I would have rather been the Samurai. Samurai Showdown.
I was like, dang. You're welcome. Hey, it is what it is.
It
here.
is. This is what happens when you come on this show.
Yeah, I mean,
but
you have a unique name,
I love it. Yeah, absolutely.
You should hear how my last name's said all the time. But
Elac.
we have to address this right here.
Yeah,
Ryan Casperson is the hottest man alive. Man, Ryan.
That's my wife.
That's
love you, baby.
But check this out. She did come back
though. She came back for me though.
She came back though. She's coming to get her girl.
I was like,
wow.
She's coming back for her girl. So. And then we gotta drop in a little roll into the intro. Then my mom gets on, jumps on once in a while. Mikey's mom will watch after the show.
She doesn't really comment on here.
Yeah,
she'll comment on Facebook. She's more learning the whole Facebook thing. So
so my mom checks in. She's been stuck in Tennessee for 3 weeks. Her transmission went out on her 2019 Ford vehicle, so she's a little upset.
Yeah.
But, hey.
And then we got Alma saying,
Alma, what's up, girl?
32 in the house, which I couldn't get a hat. I tried to buy a hat. That's out of stock. I don't need a koozie.
We'll get you guys some shirts, dude. We'll get you guys some shirts.
Awesome.
You got to have the big boy sizes.
Awesome.
Yeah. We got them. 3X and up. We got them.
Yep. We need those. Make sure the nice loose.
The guys in our chapter are massive.
Oh, are they?
we got Vikings in this chapter.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what we are when you're big? We're Vikings?
We're Vikings.
Yeah, we're Vikings. Damn right.
Well, Eric does it is a it means Scandinavian warrior.
That's okay. There you go.
saying, you know,
There you go.
blanket sizes.
Yeah, we're gonna come back to that, Scotty. Yeah, see, Scotty,
Scotty.
you should be because
Much love, brother.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's the one that mentioned that's who actually sings the song for our intro.
Yeah, he's
so
our
we
intro
love
guy.
Oh,
Scotty.
No
Yeah.
shit. And CVMA
Yeah.
Nashville, huh?
Yeah.
Fuck.
18-1.
Right on, brother. Right on.
Yeah.
And that's why Eric's making fun of his mom because she's out there.
Yeah.
and
They're
she's-
like right there. They're like right there on the map, and it's all good.
Awesome.
I love
Awesome.
this. We carried the blanket sizes.
He ain't wrong. He ain't wrong.
That's funny. That's funny.
Uh,
Well, first off, thank you for joining us today. Welcome to the show. We're excited to talk to you and what the Combat Vets Club does and what you guys, how you give back to the community. So we're super looking forward to learning a lot more about you.
For sure.
And there's
I got him, Ryan. I got him. It's association.
Association. Sorry, not
I got him. I got him right.
It's all good. It happens.
my bad. My bad. See, we're all making mistakes. Samara,
That's
at
not a
least I can
mistake.
say your name.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's not a mistake. It was just whenever I called Ryan and
Come on
talked
there,
about
buddy.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People associate.
Super O, Eric. Come on.
Camera.
Samurai.
See,
Samurai.
you can't do that. It's stuck now.
All right. All
Samara.
right.
Just
We-
like the see Samara. That's it.
Samara.
Yep.
Samara.
Woo.
You want Samara.
Yeah.
I'm gonna spell it the wrong
There
way,
you
but
go.
I know what you can say now.
All
My
right.
name is Protein. So you can call me Protein.
Oh, what?
One
My
way.
girlfriend.
One way is another.
There's a long story behind all that.
Look at Scotty said his
Yeah,
girlfriend
see?
calls it a motorcycle gang to mess with him.
Yeah, see? That's definitely.
Let's
Ryan
be
definitely
very
makes-
clear.
yeah.
It is not.
Yeah,
and I
Ryan,
messed up
Ryan
with
made
the club.
sure. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
again, you didn't mess up. It's just
No, I did.
the association.
I'm just gonna leave. Never mind.
Again, well, no, I don't know how to run nothing.
Oh,
so you gotta stay here.
wait.
Uh-oh.
Samara just got my attention. What are you drinking? Because it was
What you
in a
got,
wine.
girl?
It was in a
What
stemless
you
wine
got?
glass.
No, it's not stem.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I thought. Oh, it did have a stem.
Oh.
What are you drinking?
I'm gonna be real. I don't even know. My husband poured it for me. We're in a wine club, so
Okay.
Ooh.
Hey, I happen to
fancy.
know somebody that runs a wine business, so that's why I was.
Go check
Oh,
Angelic
okay.
Wine.
yeah,
He can host the show.
that information because I had to cancel
Yeah.
my wine club. I need
Yeah.
to move
Oh.
it closer.
Well, we'll get
Michael
to that
called.
later.
Yeah, you
We'll
guys
get
can
to
set
that
something
later.
up.
All
We
right.
can set something up.
So
Getting back to
back to the actual show.
Back
What we
to-
need to learn about you guys.
Combat Veterans
How to say
Motorcycle
Samara's name
Association.
and not to say club. Like
Yeah.
it's all good. All
You
right.
still said it wrong. That's fine.
Samara.
Nope.
Nope.
Samara.
Samara.
Mhm.
There you
I'm
go.
going long. I'm going long. Let me go
Samara.
short. Samara.
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 Let's put Mara.
Thanks, Penny. Thanks, girl. Thanks.
Amanda.
There you go. All right. You got the shout out on the hair.
Oh,
There you
Nana.
go.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nana.
All right. So let's start. We're just gonna bounce back and forth, learning a little bit about each of you and your military service. Thank you for that. If we do not want to skip by without saying thank you to both
Yeah,
of you
thank you
for your service, because that's an important part. So Samara,
I'll write that down again.
where did you grow up?
Oh, okay. So I was born in San Francisco. I lived there until I was in 5th grade. And then 5th grade, I moved to good old Los Banos.
Oh, the bathroom.
Whoa.
Yeah, the bathroom. Woo, yeah. So we moved there. Yeah, so we moved there. It was a culture shock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was just going
You
to say.
think?
It was like 2 Black people in my
Yeah.
when I moved to San Francisco, where it's predominantly
Yeah.
Black people. Then we moved to Los Banos, and I was like, "Whoa,
Right.
something ain't
Right.
right." So, and then I graduated from there. And then after I graduated, I moved to Merced. My family moved to Merced, but shortly after I graduated, I went off to the military. So,
Okay.
yeah.
And so, what made you make the decision to join the military?
So to be 100% honest, education is number one for me, and I always wanted to be something great. But I came from a very poor family, and
Okay.
I knew that they could never afford an education for me. So for
Right.
me, it was trying to figure out a plan on how I could go to school. So I joined the military so I can get my education, and I'm happy to say that I got my master's degree last year. So
Oh, that's badass.
yeah,
Mhm.
so I did it. Like I got what I wanted out of the military, which was to
Nice.
go to
Beautiful.
college. So yeah,
Beautiful.
That's awesome.
And so, what branch did you join?
I joined the Army.
You joined the Army, and so where did you do your basic at?
So I was in Army National Guard at the beginning, but I did my
Okay.
basic at Fort Sill, Oklahoma.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey.
Again, like Los Banos, it was another culture shock. I was like,
Yeah.
what's happening here?
So I want to jump back. So you grew up in San Francisco, Hunters Point,
Yeah.
Noe Valley, Hunters Point.
Hunters Point
Yeah.
and Potrel Hill.
But okay, cool.
Yeah, the projects.
That's where I grew. I said I grew up there, but
We don't get no ice cream trucks. We don't get nothing.
well,
Well, they had ice cream trucks. They were just selling something else.
Yeah, they were getting hijacked and left in the end of our court. So, I was black. I remember seeing my first white Santa in Los Banos. Like, what?
You're like, what's this?
I'm honestly surprised he was white.
Oh, and by the way, hi Carlos. Hey, Protein.
Carlos in there. What's up, brother?
That's awesome.
So you finished basic in Oklahoma. Where's your MOS?
So my MOS that I signed up for was 71 Lima, which was administrative. But when I was deployed, they changed my MOS because it's the needs of the military, and they changed it to an 88 Mike, which is a truck driver. So I drove fuel.
Dang.
So logistics and just outside the wire.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now,
And that happens quite often. Yeah.
Yeah.
where they change your MOS,
hmm
is that across the board in all branches, or
Yeah.
is it
It's
more?
the needs. At the end of the day, it's the needs of the military. So
Right.
when I got called to deploy, I thought, oh, great, I'll just be administrative. I'll be in the fob. And they're like, no, you're going to be a truck driver. I was like, hey, you guys just going to send me out there. Let's all fuel.
That's our connection. So when I first started driving a truck, I drove in San Francisco with the produce market, all the schools and the hospitals and all. That's where I learned in a bobtail in San Francisco,
Oh, no.
up and down the hills. So that's and there's always a
There you
connection.
go.
That's the war zone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's different, dude. It's different. For
So where were you deployed?
So I was deployed to Baghdad, Camp Taji. So it's
Okay.
right outside Baghdad.
So did you always have? I mean, I'm assuming you had transports every time you had to drive fuel around.
We had what do you mean transport?
Like convoys. Convoys.
Oh
Sorry,
yeah, we drove in
sorry.
a convoy, but we ran our own fuel, our own gun truck company. We didn't have like a gun truck company that would run with us, so
Oh,
we
okay.
ran our own, which was good because we knew them. It was just like a better connection, but yeah.
Right.
So, and we only traveled at night.
A little more
All
trust,
of our
huh?
missions were at night.
Yeah.
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 So
Wow. Dude, I couldn't imagine driving a fuel truck around Baghdad.
no.
yeah, no,
That
I can
doesn't.
barely get in the truck. I can barely see over the steering wheel.
really.
The whole thing. It was a whole thing, guys. People are like, "What did
Wow.
you do?" Like, you probably sat at a desk. I'm like, "No, I drove a fuel truck." They're like,
What?
I know.
Yeah,
That's where I ride a motorcycle now. Because what the heck? If I could
Yeah, hey,
It's the risk. It's the risk.
it's the only next step, right? Driving
Yeah.
a huge fuel truck in a combat zone. I mean, just get rid of all the shed all the extra metal and get on the motorcycle.
why she has a she shed?
Why
now.
not?
Yeah, and she's got her own
Got a
shed.
she shed.
That's awesome. With her gaming chair and all her paint.
He does.
gaming chair. Hey,
Yay.
he's in the Air Force. My little ones, my son just went to the Air Force about a year ago. He's a meteorologist.
wow.
So shout out to my boy Damani.
Yeah.
And he's all ripped and stuff. He's all jacked up.
Telling the
That
weather.
dude.
Yeah.
So funny story. My youngest is a senior in high school right now, and he wants to go Air Force. So
That's the best way to go.
well, as a dad, that's where I want him going, 'cause
Yes.
especially with times and where we might be heading.
Yep. My son is living his best life 100% of the time. Like, he is out there. He's a meteorologist. He got a really good gig. He's doing all kinds of
Dang,
stuff.
what he scored on his ASVAB.
I don't know. He scored in the top 4 percentile. I don't know
Wow.
his score, but yeah, he's
5-star hotels.
Yeah.
he gets to live off post because he's supporting the Army. So because he's Air Force, it's not, the Army base is not to Air Force standards, so he gets to live off post.
That is awesome,
dude. That
And
is
if they have to live on post to get paid extra money.
Yeah, he gets paid extra money, and he gets VAH, and he's 20 years old, own apartment,
rough
like don't have
life.
to worry about. Like,
He's doing good. He's doing good.
Okay, that's
yeah,
definitely
doing
what
all
I want to
these
send my son
hardcore
off to.
classes. Like he's living it up. He's definitely,
That's awesome.
definitely is following like all the footsteps I would have wanted to do. Like if I could do it again, I would have went in the Air Force, but he is living it up. So I'm not even mad.
Yeah, ours is Air Force and the Navy, but then the Air Force recruiter is kind of like not available much, and the Navy recruiter is super hardcore, pushing
For sure.
Always, like she's got him to already take his practice ASVAB, and she's doing all the stuff. So he's like, I just don't want to swim. He's like, I don't want nothing to do with water. So I'm like, well, we'll see.
Oh yeah. Shit out of luck on that.
Well,
I'll tell you, every branch has a swim in the water at one point. So
yeah.
Well, he wants to keep that at the least possible. So he wants to be an MP anyways. He wants to be an MP with a dog. That's his.
Oh, okay. There you go. K9.
Well, yeah.
Nice.
So, well, so Baghdad, and then how did you do multiple tours or?
Nope, just one.
Okay, just one. And then that's when you got out after and
no, I stayed in. I came back in the reserves. I did a stateside tour because I worked with a unit that did a lot of the training. We trained a lot of troops to go overseas. So I did a stateside tour with another unit I was in the reserves. So I stayed in the reserves and I stayed for a total of 17 years. So
man. So you just got out like 3 days ago.
No.
See how you do that? That's how you make up for the name stuff, Eric.
Yeah. I'm not going to say
it. All right. So congrats on the Masters. That's phenomenal.
Yeah,
you know, anybody awesome. That's a huge feat in itself on top of all your military service. So that's huge. So Ryan,
yes,
where'd you grow up?
So I was born in the Bay Area as well, Pacifica, San Francisco. Then moved in the 90s to Stockton, and that's where I was raised.
Okay.
And that's where I went to school. I mean, and that's where I come from.
Yeah.
For the most part. Yeah.
What high school did you go to in Stockton?
I went to. So my story is a little typical for military people.
Okay.
I went to Stag High School. Went there for a little while. Eventually ended up getting kicked out for the most part, and went to homeschool, and then graduated that way.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So where'd your decision to join the military come from?
So it's a long story.
I know I'm just like next step would be.
So I joined a little late, right? I joined at 24 years old.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
My direction in life was not where I wanted it to be. I was a Stockton guy. I was growing up the way I was growing up, and I was doing what I was doing, and I just wanted to change. So I joined the military. So I joined the Army at 24 years old, and I shipped out probably 5-6 months after.
Okay. And
so it changed. It absolutely changed the trajectory of my life.
Yeah,
that's what it did.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Now, where was your basic training?
My boot was in Fort Knox, Kentucky. I was one of the last cycles of all male boot camps in Fort Knox, Kentucky.
Really?
Yep. So they closed down all boot camps at Fort Knox. It's over with. I think there's one cycle after my class. But that was it. And we cycled through there, 40 dudes in each platoon, and it was a good time, I guess,
Yeah.
3-4 months of just getting your ass kicked. It was different.
You got so many comments coming now.
Yeah.
Like it's just crazy. You got all these.
We have a high
that's right. That's goddamn right.
So look at hell yeah, Kentucky represent because Scotty was,
That's right.
Army
Yeah.
as well. So
Oh yeah.
guys,
Right on, bro.
we got to get you connected with Scotty,
there's
man.
so many
Yeah.
there's so many things that we want to do.
Absolutely.
And there's guys that we want to bring out just to kind of fill in some gaps out here and help each other out and stuff. And
right.
you know, that's the cool thing about what we do is it gives us our platform and I'm going to get a map and have little pins put in it to see where
everybody we're talking.
We're getting up to that point. I mean, you know, we're coming up on 40 episodes. You know,
we are.
Heck yeah.
You know, it's the stories are always unique and they're the same, but they're way different. Does that make sense? You know, like you said, like hey, you had to do what you had to do, and some people are like my family was in it, so I'm just joining. You know, so yeah, he is
for sure.
Kentucky. I need that. I remember that. All right, Ryan. So you end up finishing, you know, basic, and what did your boot camp and what was your MOS?
So I enlisted because I was older. I was thinking of future stuff, right? So I enlisted as a metal worker.
Okay.
91 whiskey at that time. So they shipped me off to Aberdeen, Maryland. So I learned there, and then they shipped me back to Fort Lee, Virginia, to learn that. But my entire 13 years of career, I spent driving a wrecker. If you don't know what a wrecker is, it's the big tow trucks that go and either remove vehicles that have been hit by an ID or were under fire or that roll down a hill or what have you. And on Samara was driving a fuel truck, right? So like if you're on a convoy, there's two trucks they want to take out immediately. It's your fuel and it's your recovery system.
Right.
So those are probably two of the most dangerous vehicles you could be in. So yeah, 13 years I spent in a wrecker, and it's been fun. It's been a great time.
13 years. So how many tours did you do?
Yeah, I did one tour. I did 4 years active. I did the rest under National Guard.
Okay.
I was there for the Sacramento riots, things like that. And, yeah, that's been it.
And I'm guessing Chelsea's your sister, right?
Is Chelsea on there? Oh God! What a shit talker!
I was waiting for him to watch back down.
That's why I was like, so I'm guessing Chelsea's your sister.
Sorry, Chelsea's my sister. Yeah, that's her.
It's funny when you're telling the story and you're in it and you're thinking of these things, and I'm like,
yeah, and then she jumps on here. I love her. She's a great person. She's a great mom. And Tomas, that's a sergeant at arms right there. Great dude, nice. Solid.
Yeah. Nice, thank you, Tomas.
So Tomas, solid dude. But yeah, that's my career in a nutshell. I mean, there's lots of stories, there's lots of stuff, but we all wound it back to Stockton in the Central Valley, or not Central, San Joaquin Valley, and we started up programs that we thought would benefit our community.
So let's get to that. So where did, obviously neither one of you started, the Combat Veterans Association, right? That was
no, we did not.
Okay. So Ryan, when did you join and what fueled your desire to join? So
I joined 2015. Our chapter was already at that point was 5 years strong, started 2010. The Combat Vets in a whole was started a few years before that, on the East Coast. What fueled me to do that, which fuels most of our members, is to we just want to impact our communities and keep serving our country. You know what I mean? So we developed programs and we just kept on getting after it for the most part, So the past 5 years, we've been doing, I'm a humble dude, but pretty remarkable stuff, I would say.
Right. Well, I think you have a right to just pump that chest on that stuff, right?
Yeah.
I can tell that you want I can tell that you let everybody else talk it up, but when you're when you have
Yeah.
people underneath you, it's kind of, when Mike and I were running football, everyone's, oh, you're doing a good job. No, I'm not doing nothing. I just have people in place that know more than me, and I'm just the rah-rah. I'm the cheerleader.
Exactly. And our chapter is filled with amazing people with a drive to help people, and it's made us so successful. Like, it's so hard for me to sit here and be like, yeah, we made this happen, yada, yada, because it wasn't just me. It was an entire chapter of 40 people, give or take, that backed us up and spearheaded this and made it happen. Yeah, we had the ideas. Like, Samara had this great idea, and we spearheaded it and made it a reality, and have helped, numerous veteran families throughout, all the way from freaking, how far we go? Almost Fresno, all the way down to, like Elk Grove. And it's humbling stuff. It really is.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, Samara, what fueled your desire to join and get you into this organization?
I just like to help out veterans. I just feel like veterans or military or service members are like your family, your brothers and sisters, right? So if there's any kind of, I would like to help out in any kind of capacity. Like, I do it for my job. I help out veterans, and I do it with the CVMA. It's just something, I don't know. It's just something that I have a passion for. And I feel like if you are driven with passion, then you're going to be able to give 110% all the time and not even know you're giving 110% because it's just something that you love. So for me, the CVMA is like a family. It's there's only like two female writers, but we are strong and we are mighty and we're like the smallest ones. But
yeah, but you're probably the biggest shit talkers too, huh?
Oh yeah, we be together. Everybody knows when Samara steps on the ground, it's time. It's time.
Yeah.
So,
is it true? Is it true that there's that the engines have to be over 500 cc? Is that fake?
Correct. Yes.
That's true, right?
No, that's true. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No slow pokes, man. No slow pokes.
My bike is kind of small though, but it got some little It's the loudest one. It's the smallest one, but it's the loudest one.
She brought the Sportster that's loud as hell and fucking ripping down the road.
That's awesome.
It's like, like a big old bark, and then here I come. Me.
You know what's interesting, and I really tend to get this from all of our Army veterans, but every time, Scotty said it a lot, and then a couple other guests that were in the Army, they have this intense desire to serve. Yeah. Right. And that service didn't end with your military service. It's like, now you got to keep it going because, like being part of that team, giving back to those who maybe didn't come back here and use their skills or didn't have the tools to use their skills the right way when they came back. So it's awesome. And I feel like that's exactly what we're hearing from you two, is just that desire to continue to serve.
It's like ingrained in you,
right.
It's like ingrained in your person. So for me, it's, I don't know, I will help a veteran without thinking about it. Just thinking about Carlos. Just thinking about all the, yeah, that's me and Ryan. We do karaoke together, and that's what we sing. So.
Regulators, mount up.
So it's just, and then my husband was in the Motorcycle Association first, so he was like, "This is something you would love," So then I was like, "Okay, I'll do it." But yeah, it can be intimidating. There's a bunch of dudes in there. And some of the stuff they say is off the wall, but I have 4 brothers, and just I fit right on in because they can't say nothing to make me mad.
Yeah.
So
I give you props. I give you props. That's badass.
It's even intimidating for dudes. I mean, you're coming into an organization that was primarily lifted on the shoulders of Vietnam vets and World War II vets. So you come in there and knowing, the trials and everything these guys went through, the war they went through, you kind of like judge yourself, like, did I earn this? Like, compared to these guys,
Right.
There's that generational thing.
Yeah. And these guys went through hardcore stuff, and you kind of sit back, but they're open with, open arms, and it's just a welcoming experience and somewhere you could really, place your hat,
I think
Well,
that's the veterans mentality. Like every
It
veteran,
is. Yeah.
they always think that somebody else earned it more, or somebody else needs it more, or somebody else
Yeah.
harder. It's just like those are those barriers you have to break down. You know, when a veteran comes for
Yeah.
assistance and you want to try to give
For
it
sure.
to give it to someone else, you have to remind them that this money's going to sit here, so you get it, somebody else gets it, you all get it. Like you all fought in a different way. Everybody gave in a certain way, and it's important to put us on that same level that we all gave. And that's why we're family. That's why we're forever connected, is because of the givings that we gave to this world, or, you know, to our comrades or whatever. So I think it's just staying on that level playing field.
For sure.
That we're here for each other. So
that's why I carry this.
Go
I carry this book around, and I say, well, we could go back to, we had Sheriff Dirks, he's Stanislaus County Sheriff on, and you know, he's a West Point grad. You know, all the glamour of that, and we're like, well, did you get this program? He's like, I came out unscathed, right? Like I was kind of catered to, I guess, more. I mean, I hate to say it like that.
An officer,
but you know, but yeah, he's like, no. And it's funny that we always tell guys and gals, it's, you sign that line. When you sign on that line, that's already set aside for you. You're not taken from the next person or someone who, you know, may have lost, you know, an appendage or something. And it's just like, it's there for you. You sign that line, like you're entitled to whatever you can get, and go get it.
But unfortunately, on the flip side of that, there's a stigma that's put throughout the military that makes you feel like there's more deserving people. And so, like, it took me forever to file for stuff. Okay. Because I felt like a piece of shit for filing stuff. I came home, I have all my limbs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's this stigma that makes you think that if you came home in one piece, you're perfectly fine. You know what I mean? So it's a hard, it could even be called as brainwashing. I don't know. Yeah. But this is a thing that makes you, you know, sit in the background. And unfortunately, this is what is responsible for, you know, a lot of the 22.
Yeah.
And it sucks to get into that conversation, but it is what it is, you know. And
100%.
Yeah.
Well, my dad,
go ahead. Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I was going to say, with getting your benefits and what's due to you, my dad was two tours in Vietnam, right? You know, he didn't get any injuries. He got the mental injuries, and part of Agent Orange, all that. He didn't file for anything till 2012. He passed away in 2015. Yeah. So, you know, it just shows you, I mean, he went,
and that's 100% common all the time.
Yeah. And
veterans don't get their benefits until they passed. Or I had a veteran filing for benefits, like waiting. And then he passed away in his vehicle before he even got his first check. Like, wow. You know, that's the thing. Yeah. And that's why I try to, you know, be an advocate for all veterans and say, you know what? You don't get this money, somebody else is going to, but it's still going to be there for you regardless of the fact. Like, you just need to go out. You don't ever say that you're not worthy, because you are, you know. And it's like, we have to as, you know, a therapist or a social worker or a clinician, you have to remind them that, you know, you are worthy. These are the things you can get. This is, you know, and it's like, you have to pump them up and amp them up. But at the same time, like, I'm sitting there, but I have to amp myself up. Like, I didn't seek benefits for 6 years after my tour. And then my husband, he didn't seek benefits until 3 years after I did. So it's like, you know, I'm telling them to go, but myself, I'm like, not even fine, I'm good, you know.
Exactly. And that's a common thing with veterans. I mean, we take care of everyone around us before we look at ourselves. Right. And it's a sad truth. It really is. And it's
that's
just
how
the
my
way.
dad was. That's how my dad was.
Yeah.
They're moving back to Golden Shores, Arizona. My cousin lives back there. They got a little spread, and you know, he started getting pulmonary fibrosis, right? And being a Navy guy, and down in the, he was on the USS Cleveland, and everything that he went through in Vietnam, and you just, for me personally, and again, this is my therapy session, right? I haven't went to I've never went to certified, but this is why we've started the Contagion Effect to bring awareness, and we get into the 22, we get into mental health. You know, we've had 22 Mohawks on, and we've had different people talk to us, and you know, even they're good, dude. Just leave them.
It's just one.
You know, we've had I'm blanking on Ippolito, Mr. Ippolito, he's younger than we.
Yeah.
He's a pastor in Arizona, right? A youth pastor. And he's talking about these kids that are going through this stuff. And obviously 12-year-old's not in the military, but there's something there, and there's a stigmatism, and there's something in America right now that we need to talk about it. Like, put it on the forefront. Like, don't put, oh man,
for sure.
Suicide. Oh my gosh, it's horrible. It is what it is, and we need to address it.
Yeah.
And that's the problem that we're running into, is people aren't talking about it, right?
Yeah.
And so I will think of things once in a while, and even in the middle of a show, you know, with Book, and he had his song on there, and I broke down because I started listening to the words. And so for us to talk about it, we have no problem talking about it. We have no problem at all. And when it needs to be out there, and you know, it's something that needs to be shared.
I think we need to normalize it. Like,
that's my point. Yeah, that's exactly.
Right? So when a kid goes in kindergarten, he has to have a dental appointment, or she has to have a dental appointment in order to be in kindergarten. So I used to always say, going into, you know, clinical work, I would say, well, we need to normalize mental health. So if that kid has to go get a dental exam, he should also go to mental health, because what is going to teach this child? It's going to teach this child that talking to somebody early on about some of their issues that they can't always talk to their parents about, it's okay. So if you normalize it going into kindergarten, just like dental work, then it'll be something they'll be able to have an outlet for the rest of their life. So I think it's being like, in my home, my children, like, if you can't talk to me, and no hard feelings, like, let's go ahead and talk to somebody. But you know, how many people are preaching that in their home? Because the first time you tell somebody, oh, you should go see a mental health provider, or who are you talking to?
Well, you think I got something wrong with me?
I'm not crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yo,
that's what happens.
You know, you can go, like I said, say it's 4 walls. I always tell people it's 4 walls that you can say anything you want. If you don't like your kids, I don't like my kids.
I'm not my kid's friend.
I want to slap them or whatever. You know, like, you can say that because there's no judgment in there. Like, get that off your shoulders. So I feel like mental health needs to be normalized. Like, if we can go to the dentist and we can go to the doctor, we can step into a mental health facility, or not a facility, or talk to our therapist, and not even have anything to think about it. So I think mental health is like number one. Like, I think I'm mentally healthy, and I just love it.
That's a beautiful point, because we talked about last week with the chief of North Platte Fire Department, our guest last week, and we talked about the fact that PTSD now affects over 50% of the population. Well, veterans aren't 50%, you know, sadly,
like 20%.
Veteran less than that. Yeah. So it's with that, and knowing that I think that's a great thing, is normalizing it from a very young age.
And COVID alone has
COVID's a whole nother
children mentally, like, it is a dog eat dog world out there, like, for children, for adults. Like, it's just like, this world is not getting any easier, so mental health needs to be pushed. And right now it's like really heavy. Mental health is really heavy. So, but I just feel like, you know, we need to say it's okay. Like, everybody, it's okay to talk to somebody. It doesn't mean
not to be okay.
Yeah, it's okay not to be okay, you know. Even for the strongest people, because on my regular day I could be super strong, but let me tell you, if something breaks down in my world, I'm gonna call my therapist, like, hey, we need a sketch, because
that's I was telling Eric, I just actually, through a referral system, that a referral group I'm part of for business, I just signed up with a life coach, because I didn't like talking to my healthcare therapist. Like, I just didn't like the way they did things, and talking to this guy, I feel so much more comfortable. And that's, you know, whatever it may be, somebody in your life, or if you have to go pay or whatever it may be, you got to find that somebody.
Right.
Like, you got to work to find somebody.
You've got to talk about it, because it's just going to wear you down. I'm not sure if I already said this already, but I've lost more friends after combat from being 22 than I did in combat, and that's sad, man.
It's really
sad, and it hurts a lot, because, you know, you talk to these guys, you know, I mean, we're so far apart past the country, you know, some of the guys are still serving and whatnot, and we talk, you know, once a week or whatever, and then next thing you know, they said game over, and it sucks, it really does, and I really feel that you should just express it. And I'm no saint. I bottle a lot of stuff up myself.
You're human.
But it's just, I'm human, and I'm just trying to make it through, and but that stigma of bottling things up and thinking it's going to get better needs to end. And
Right.
there's no other way about it. And I hope the military sees that. I think they've been taking necessary steps, but it needs to be more engaged.
Yeah.
Quite honestly.
Well, we've had another guest who literally went through a mental breakdown while in the military, and they literally said, "All right, time for you to get out. We're not good enough to handle your issues."
Yeah. They said
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was in Santa Cruz. She was homeless in Santa Cruz. Came out, got some help, and has a beautiful family now living up in northern Sacramento. And it's just, but she said it's every day. It's a struggle every day. You go through so much shit, and
for sure.
She actually saw. I had a friend in high school. He was over in the Kobar Towers that got bombed, and she was in Germany, and he came through when they were sending him back home.
His body,
and she was in the mailroom actually, and so she she got to see that part, and it's one of those
It'll haunt you for the rest of your life.
Absolutely.
But bottling things up in the military is like a learned behavior. Like they teach you to hide it because you want to secure your job or whatever in the military. So they teach you to hide it. So when you get out, it's not like they transition you out. Like when you get out of jail, you go to a halfway house and then you go out into the world. They kick you out. They don't teach you anything. They don't send you anywhere because you know what? They want you to stay. So then what do you do? You bottle it up. What do you do? Like me, if I'm going through something and I don't want to talk about it or I don't want to let it out, the first thing I'll do is pick up another job. And Ryan knows I'll have like 5 or 6 jobs going. I'll be doing I'll be vacation every weekend. I'll be living my best life. Put something to the back. But at the end of the day, it'll all surface. And when it does all surface, it's like trash sitting at the top of an ocean. Like you can't get
it's an explosion.
You got to decipher through all that, and you just don't know where to begin. So it's just behavior. The military is great, but it does teach you some very, very toxic traits.
Right.
Again, and so listen, and I'm not putting a bow tie on this right now, but if there is someone out there in your group, in our group, watching this, wherever you're watching it, listening to, 988, call us, send us a message. CVMA, send them a message. Send somebody a message, man. We're here to talk. Our phone numbers are all over the place, our links and all that stuff. And again, 988, if you need to get a hold of someone that's a professional, go do it. Go do what you got to do. Go do what you got to do.
For sure.
But on that note,
so
I want to
go ahead.
Well, no, I just wanted and like I said, we can sit here and talk all day about
we could.
I mean, that's what we do, really. Yeah,
for sure.
But I do want to bring some light to some of the things that you guys got going on.
Exactly. And what we're just talking about is exactly the reason why we do what we do.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to throw that.
Forgotten project. I mean, I want to jump on that, but I was on the mission statement here, and on the second paragraph, you said we decided enough was enough, and you began to hit the street, boots on the ground, and that's military 101, right? Get in there, get it done.
For sure.
The homeless is we all know how rampant it is all across San Joaquin Valley and wherever you live. There's a section somewhere that can use help. But tell us a little bit about what you guys got going on with Forgotten Project.
For sure. So Forgotten Project was started when we decided to start branching out. It started out with the homeless project. So we wanted to go find veterans on the streets of Stockton. We've met, to be honest with you, real numbers, we've met probably 20 veterans on the streets of Stockton. How many we've gotten off the streets? 2 vets off the streets.
Wow.
That's how serious the issue is. And it's not just that. Most of these guys or gals are so deep in their own drug abuse or addiction or whatever that you just can't do it. So we started out that way, and then we started Forgotten Project to have, multiple branches of it. And, we started our Christmas giveaway. We started a Robbie Mariano run. So that's just what we've been doing for the last 5-6 years, and just doing our best to help out,
I love thank you for the video, by the way. I love the story on Robbie, and saying he's like every normal kid. We're punks, from Stockton. It was kind of a great, some people could look at it and go, oh, that's not great. No, I thought it was a beautiful tribute because you represented exactly who
be true to who you are,
who he was.
And exactly.
And unfortunately,
he was a Stockton kid.
Growing up in Stockton, it's I don't care who you are, it's not easy, right?
Yeah. I mean, back in the 90s, Stockton was a beautiful place. I'll give you that. As it progressed forward, things got a little rougher. I mean, and we had to, adapt and overcome. Shout out to Teddy Blake, who's the one who shot that video and put it all together. Great dude, TJ Blake.
Nice video, because I do videos too on the side. So, and look at mom over here has got a shout out. That's
the Air Force kid. He's all ripped and stuff.
Boy.
Yeah,
we got that good Wi-Fi right now.
I need to get his number to see how my son could get his hookup.
That's my bestie right there.
There you go. There you go. That's awesome. Thank you for watching, Damani.
Hell yeah. So that's how Forgotten Project was started, was with the homeless program. And then Samara came to the chapter with this idea because she's worked in HUD-VASH and in low-income veteran programs for years now. And she was like, what if we do like a Christmas giveaway? And I mean, it all fell together, and we've been helping veterans for, years now. And it's been not just veterans' children,
right?
I guess. Yeah. It's been amazing, man. Every time I watch these videos that, the stuff we're doing, and it brings tears to my eyes. It really does.
Oh, that must have been.
I can see it. I can see it as you're talking, as you've been going through this, right? Yeah. And then you get comments like this. This is awesome. So
that's Mike.
A little bit. Those Mike guys.
He plays ping pong really well.
He's as big as Ryan too, so it's like
he's bigger than me. He's a big old son.
These big fools from? I'm like, I don't know.
So what's interesting is I did work I actually worked for a wireless company in Stockton, one of the lower end wireless companies. So they catered to the beautiful people of Stockton. And I was driving down Wilson Way close to Charter, and that overpass where a lot of the homeless had set up at one point. I was tripping out because I probably saw 15, 20 motorcycles along with the police and the city and all that. And I was like, dude, what? And now I'm wondering if it was you guys that was help cleaning it up. Because
was that Mormon Slough?
Is that the one that's right there at Wilson?
Whatever. Mormon Slough. Yeah. That was us.
Yeah. See, so put it together, because I was like, man, I wonder if these are the guys that were helping. Because after watching your video, and some of the stuff on your website, I was like, oh, I wonder if they're the ones helping do that. So
that was us. We went out there with Ray. He's a great dude, Stockton native. Big Blue Junk Removal. Went out there with them. A couple other great white shark removals. A couple other movie companies went out there. We cleaned the whole slough. Unfortunately, I mean, that slough was filled back up in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, no, I did see that.
That's the battle you fight,
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, and then some of the little shanty towns that are, as you go off of Charter Way or MLK or whatever road you want to call it, that grown down the street from there are just it's craziness.
Yeah, so, it is. It's bad. The entire state's that way, unfortunately.
So I do have to ask a question, because we have, you guys have connections with some of our guests, and have you guys heard of Sinners and Winners?
Yes, we have.
Oh, you have, Ryan? So they're a motorcycle.
Yeah, we've donated to them before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Aaron and Adam.
I do.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, because they actually have a program where if a vet has a bike that needs some help, they'll let them come work on the bike. They'll teach them how to fix it, and
yeah.
and
For sure.
they have
Yep.
programs. So I just want to make sure
Yeah,
you
out
guys
of Oakdale.
them. Yeah, out in Oakdale, perfect. I do some of their videos for them, so for their
Okay. Yeah.
their social media. But that's awesome.
Right on. Yeah.
Let's talk about some of the events. On your calendar, is your event calendar hooked to something else like with the city and any of the events with the city?
No. We kind of just do our own thing.
Okay.
We just do our own events and stuff. But our next biggest event is the Christmas giveaway, which is Samara's the chairwoman of it. And she's been putting it the fourth annual, correct? Yeah. And how many vets have we helped since you started that, Samara?
Oh man, I was trying to think about that today because I think the first year we did like 2, and then the second year we did like 3, and then the third year we did 4, and I think this year like 3. So yeah, it's been a few, and it just came from so a little backstory of why I brought it to the chapter is because I was poor as a child, and I relied on other people to adopt our family to give us gifts, So when I remember thinking when I was younger, like one day I'm gonna do something great, and I'm gonna help kids. I'm gonna go and get tickets off the tree, and I'm gonna give back to the people who gave to me, because even though it was a puzzle or a shirt or some socks, I was just so happy to get something for Christmas and to have a present to open, right?
Right.
I love my parents to death, but life is life. As a parent, as I grow up, I understand that life is life, and we were given what we're given, and we just drive on. So as I grew up, I used to always go to Sir Optimus Christmas tree in the mall and grab like 5 or 6 names and meet my kids for Christmas. That's what we would do, was shop for other kids, teaching my kids to pass that on. So when I came into the CVMA, and I also work for the homeless veteran, I just thought, you know what, we need to give back to the veteran population, not only to them, but to their children, because the family struggles, and your struggle hurts when you're struggling, but when you're a parent, it hurts a little bit more deeper, because not only are you struggling, but your children are struggling, and you're watching them not get anything and watch other kids get stuff. So I was like, you know what, Ryan, I think we should do this. I'll take it by the reins and let's go. So he was like, yeah, let's go. So the first year, me and my husband did it all by ourselves. Ooh, it was a lot, but
they really did.
We selected the families, and me and my husband just went shopping, and my kids went shopping for them too. Oh, that's my little Kiki right there.
There you go.
So we don't do Christmas. For Christmas, we travel. I take my kids and we travel for Christmas. So what we do every year is we just shop for others. Like, we're not going to shop for ourselves. We're going to shop for others. So the first 2 years, me and my husband and my kids, we just went out there. We hit the pavement. We bought these kids all kinds of great things. Like, what would you want? And that's what we did: bikes and shoes and
also needs, right?
Yeah, needs. Yeah. And some kids, like, sometimes you just ask like what you want, and they're like, I just want some socks or a sweater, and I'm like, what?
No, come on, I'm gonna get you more than that.
Like, I want some underwear, I want socks, and I just want some shoes from Payless, and I'm like, okay, so I take their wants, we magnify it just a little bit, and then we show up on our motorcycles, and nobody is more grateful than a child who thinks they're getting nothing for Christmas. And that's where my heart lies. Like, as a mother, like, watching these mothers too, like, not be able to give, and us showing up and just taking that load off, like giving them, that's their present. All they want is for their kids to have, right? So it's like, I don't know, it's just a beautiful thing. And I love it. Every year that we do it, I go to bed at night and I just thank God that I was given this opportunity to help others, and not only to help veterans, but to help their children and their families, because they're never going to forget this. These little kids are forever going to tell the story about the motorcycle showing up in front of their house and giving. It's going to be
there was a bunch of Santa Clauses. That's so. How do you guys find the families? Because we actually did that with a bunch of we worked with the schools to find some of the families that needed help, and I think 2 years ago we did something like 30 families, and ended up being I don't know, it was like 70 kids. But it was a large group. I just kind of spearheaded getting who's going to get what. And I asked everybody who would sponsor, and how many kids they would sponsor or what family. And I mean, we had some families with 6-7 kids that, you have, and we were the same way. We got Famous Footwear to give us some discounts on shoes. We bought them shoes. Every kid got a shirt, t-shirt, a t-shirt, some kind of pants or shorts, shoes and socks and underwear. And then they got a toy. And we would ask their parents, like, what do they want? Like, what's something they would want? Obviously, we're not giving out Xboxes or PlayStations, but how do you guys find these families?
So we just do we do a blast on all of our social media sites. Like, I'll do a blast. We have a commercial, or a video that we did, and we'll share it. I do a blast to some of my clients and their families. We just kind of word of mouth. Like, everybody just shares to share. And then they come to our website and they fill out like an application.
Okay.
And then I call everyone from the applications just to verify that they're, one, a veteran, and two, I kind of want to get a backstory. Like, okay, why do you feel that you need this? Like, what is your story? What happened to you this past year?
Right.
Last year there was a few fathers that one guy got custody of his children, and he just came on hard times. His job, he wasn't set to take care of all of his children like that by himself.
Right.
So he just was like, I just don't have it. I just can't give to my children. I got to feed us first, and, make sure we have a place to stay. And that is taking up all of my money. So, and he was a seasonal worker. So he had all this money during one time of the year, but he was able to save and budget it for the full 12 months. So
Can't do that. Can't do it.
So he's one of the guys that we helped. So I kind of just get their stories, listen to them, listen to what they have to say, and then from there I'll narrow it down, and then I'll bring it to Ryan and kind of go over the groups. So some of them are my clients, and I know them, so I know what they're going through. So it makes it a little bit easier in that aspect. But I'm hoping that this year we get more. We haven't really got a whole lot.
I just feel like there's so many more. And I know you obviously have to.
You're right.
Find a level of how much can we do, but I promise you, if you put it out, there's always people willing to help. I mean, that's what made our event so special. And then obviously COVID hit and everything kind of fell off. So
for sure.
So
the biggest thing. Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say, with that being said, when you guys get ready to blast, tag us and let us know what you guys got going on.
Absolutely, yeah.
We'll tag it and we'll put it out there too.
Right.
For sure. So so I was just going to touch on that point. Like, when it comes, we like to focus mainly just on veteran families.
Right.
We could do all the toy runs we want and donate 1 million bikes or whatever, but we just like to be focused on vets and be personable. The issue is that vets aren't going to ask for help. If they're at the lowest of times, they're not going to ask for it. Even if they deserve it, if their kids deserve it, they won't say anything. And that's, once again, refers back to the stigma, because we're proud, we're strong, and we don't need nothing because we worked our asses off for it. Pardon my French. But I think that's the wall we're running into. And I really hope this podcast reaches a vet that, just lets his pride down for a second, man. Just let it down for a second, because we just want to bring some happiness to your life. And just bring some smiles to your kids' faces, and just take a load off your back for at least 1 year, and give you another chance to, just regroup and get it together, because that's honestly what we are doing, what we have been doing for the last 5 to 6 years. And so I just wanted to put that out there.
No, I think that's beautiful, because we do need to keep saying it. That's why we do a show every week, is that, again, Eric said it earlier, the story may be different, but it all comes back to the same message of we need everybody to know there's somebody there for you, and don't be scared to ask. Don't, you can't be scared to ask. We're gonna push you. If we know you and we find out about you, we're gonna come talk to you. We're gonna try to make that change, hopefully, in your life, and help you out.
We just want to spread the love, and just make sure, vets get forgotten about quite quite frequently, and we just want to make sure they know that we haven't forgotten. So,
Yeah.
Well, thanks for that reminder
Yeah.
as my security is about to go off here.
Yeah.
So what is, we have the Christmas, piece, which is huge. What else are you guys out there trying to accomplish?
So just outside of helping, help with homeless veterans as much as we can, just on a daily basis. We just recently learned a veteran, got his bike stolen. So we're replacing that. That was through Samara. Just, little things. We're just trying to just help veterans, and that's what we do. And our Robbie and Mariano run right here is how we raise the majority of our money to keep on pushing and just keep on helping our community. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters to us, is helping the veteran population in the San Joaquin, Stanislaus, Calaveras, surrounding communities.
Right.
So that's what we do, and that's what we love to do, and that's our mission.
I noticed in a few days, you guys, the organization's having its 10-year anniversary.
Mm-mm.
Oh no, that was a couple of years back.
Oh, that was 2020. Oh, so
that's why I didn't say nothing.
Yeah,
I'm the one that usually screws everything up.
yeah. I just looked at it because I had changed screens. And I'm like,
that's why I didn't say
hey, I'll tell you what, we had a hell of a party. I'll tell you that.
We're still hungover from it.
Yeah, we had a hell of a party for that, though. Yeah. That's what we're doing.
I am interested. You made the comment earlier. You guys have found 20 veterans, but we've only been able to get 2 off the street, and I think
like legit off the street. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's something that I'd like to just talk about a little more, is because
for sure,
the things, they're already, like you said, they're kind of, they get built into that world, and whatever's driving them to stay in that world seems to be stronger than the desire to get out of it, and that's
right.
It's crazy.
Right. So, Samara could probably speak on this more in depth, but from my experience, these guys and gals just get in their ways of being homeless, being, abusing drugs, and that's just what they want to do. And it's really hard for them to pull themselves out of that. Just being homeless alone is tough. These guys are, bathing in rivers or, doing whatever they got to do.
Yeah.
And doing that with a certain amount of PTSD or whatever, and a drug addiction, it's really hard. And we've been out there, boots on ground, face to face with these guys, and you try to talk them straight in the eyes one minute, and then the next day they're out in outer space. So it's really a challenge. It really is.
Samara.
But Samara could probably, talk more about the mental health aspect on that for sure.
From my perspective, I just think that drugs are not it. So when you're talking to people or veterans or anybody that's on drugs, if you're talking to them while they're using, you're not talking to them, you're talking to the drug, right?
Right.
And
for sure.
Adults, they have to make these choices on their own, and the easiest choice to go with would be a substance, right? You're hiding something, you're pushing something deep down, and the substance is helping you deal with that. And then when the substance wears off, then you have to fill all those fills, and nobody wants to fill them. And also with the homeless population, for some of them, homeless is their life. Homeless is easy. They don't have to answer to no one. They don't have to pay any bills. Any money that they get, they're keeping. So to be 100% honest, most homeless people have money, have income, have quite a bit of income. They just choose to use it a certain way. So it's kind of like you have to decipher out those that actually want your help and help those that want it. And you can't always, you can lead a horse to the water. You can't make them drink it.
Right.
So you can just be available for them, give them resources, but you can't go to bed at night. You can't beat yourself up at night if you can't help everybody, because, being in mental health, you just can't. because at the end of the day, everybody makes their own decisions. But drugs are powerful. You know, substances are powerful. People use them for a reason, and you can't just rip them away from that. So, and then there's also the fear of detox. Detox is hard. Detox is death. You know, there's just a lot of things that happen. And although we want to help everybody, we just need to just focus on those that want our help. And, you know, 2 out of 20 that's 10%, man, you know? So it's
a challenge. Yeah.
Hey, that's, I mean,
I think I'm proud of that number.
Well, you should be.
You should
I'm
be.
proud of that number.
Yeah.
I just wanted to learn the behind the scenes of, you know, where you're at and how you try to get there. And
for sure. I mean,
I think people need to hear it is that I mean, they get comfortable with.
They do. And I'll tell you a story real quick. It's kind of dark story, but I'll tell you guys. So we've met a vet. Our brother Shane found him living off of I think Charterway or something. He was living underneath a house that he broke into their basement. He was living there. He was a heroin addict. He was a veteran. I think he was either Navy or Army. I forget. It's been a couple of years. But we're trying to help him. You know, we're trying to give him food, yada yada. And he straight up told us, we could get you somewhere tonight. When Julie Morales was running Dignity's alcove in Stockton, we'd get you to a place tonight. He was like, you know what, man? My entire family's been killed. I have PTS out my ass. And you know what? I'm just going to keep drinking and using drugs. And that's my life. And I'm fine with it. So this is what you run into. You know what I mean? These are the struggles and the realities you face that people don't want to see, but that's what it is. And Samara's 100% correct. This was a grown man. This was a 60-year-old man who said this. At the end of the day, it's their decision. We can provide all the resources, and they deserve every single bit of that resource. But at the end of the day, they're going to make that decision. So I hope that made sense.
No, that's no.
It's kind of sad. I get it. It was kind of dark. I'm sorry.
But it shows the truth of what you guys are dealing with. It's not. Yeah. Your task is all uphill. Like you're constantly climbing.
I mean, there's so you want to provide so much promise, but at the end of the day, like Samara said, it is up to these guys, and I think they should be afforded every single opportunity. Like these vets should be continuously harbored with these resources, just continuously, to the point that it annoys them. Like, fuck, I don't care, whatever, but it should be continuously put in their face. That's how, that's how I think.
Sorry, Eric's still on audio, but he
lost his video. All good.
Yeah, the computer over there is being.
Oh yeah.
I think it's important to tell everybody too that is watching is that helping veterans is great, but it's not always butterflies and rainbows. Like there's
it's a struggle, man.
Like, I'm trained to do this stuff, but a lot of I'm like the only one that's a mental health provider inside of our CVMA, but everybody else is not trained to do that. They're not used to seeing that. So when they're told these dark secrets, or people are telling them how they want to feel or how they feel, and they just want to just do drugs and just be left alone, like it's hard and it's a blow to take. But at the end of the day, we can give them everything that they need, but they're not going to use it, So it's important to. Helping veterans is amazing, but there's a lot of dark days. But it's important to focus on those that need our help, because at least we can save one, and saving one or two and seeing them flourish and putting your energy into that is just as rewarding as in the 20. We can only help what we can help.
Yeah.
And
exactly, and
it's the organizations like that. They're there. We're there. We provide them everything that we have that we need, and we're giving what we can give, and that's all we can give at the end of the day. We're giving 110%, Ryan, and you're out there.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, hey, you guys are doing a hell of a job.
We appreciate it, Samara. I think you said that beautifully. Is that it isn't a pretty job. It isn't easy, but you choose to go do it every day. And that's the beautiful part about it. Yeah. That's why we wanted to have you guys. Yeah,
definitely.
We wanted your story to be out there and know that, if you're in the San Joaquin
Dude,
Valley.
we're
There's a
gonna
group
get
that
together.
cares.
Yeah.
There's a group that
Yeah.
cares.
Yeah, and like I said, let us know what we can do. I mean, we can share. I know we can't be part of the association. I know there's honorary, maybe like a stool outside the door or something. Like if you need someone to hold the door open, like I'll do that. You know, I'm just saying.
Hi, thank you for coming.
Hi, hey, who's the guy at the door, huh?
No, we're not small guys. We
Yeah.
could be pretty intimidating.
I mean, hey, you know, I'm as wide as I am tall, as they say, you know. So I'm just saying.
Just for the
For
record,
sure.
I'm really short, so you guys know. Okay.
And apparently Ryan's pretty tall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not tall.
Ryan Samara, thank you guys. The
thank you
information
guys.
we get out of these things, it's overwhelming sometimes. And the great thing that I think that we do is we give you guys a platform to explain things, right? And we go into different corners, right? We go into the happy corner and the sad corner, the dark one. But it all comes back to giving back, man. And that's the best thing that we see that comes out of our podcast / YouTube channel / podcast /
whatever we are.
And so no, again, man, you guys are doing awesome. And dude, take those two and praise them and celebrate them.
One you saw from the comment, actually, one of them donated back to the organization. So that's just immense.
Oh,
That's
wow,
a
that's
huge
awesome.
success. So
That's
it's
awesome.
awesome to see all the different chapters being able to comment.
Yeah, here's a
too,
chapter
so
11-2's in the house.
that's
There
awesome.
you go. What's up, bro?
Thank you guys. You know, it's like I said, if there's something we can do for you guys, let us know.
And
Hey, what you guys are doing right now is great, and that's all I can ask for. So thank you for your time, and thank you for having us on.
Yeah, thank you guys. This was amazing.
So before we go, because we already and we kind of seen some
I already
stuff.
saw what Ryan's got.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that's the go-to.
Yeah, that's his go-to.
So,
You don't change. You don't change.
So we like to ask every guest, you know, when you're sitting back, chilling, trying to relax, what's your go-to drink?
Oh man,
We saw what you're drinking.
silver bullets all day.
My go-to drink is vodka club soda. It's not wine. So.
Oh, really? All right.
It's available today. Mine is Kettle One Botanicals, cucumber lime.
She's
bougie. She's bougie. Yeah.
Wow. And then we thought you were bougie.
Life, you know, got to get that degree. You know, got to get that degree.
Girl, you tell, hey, them people from Hunters Point right now are just rolling.
I know.
She go, girl.
She's done the smartest one here in the group.
Oh, ice cream trucks come to my house now. You better watch out.
Yeah. So I got a 5-second story, right?
Yes.
So growing up, my dad had season tickets for the Niners, and so we would always roll out. Everyone would roll out Candlestick and go right up and then go 280. For some reason, my dad, because he drove truck for Knutson, so he'd deliver milk, right? So he always made a left, and we'd go through, and I'm just like, looking around like, where are we at? Like, nobody knew it was like the ghetto. Like, there was the ghetto before it was the ghetto, right? And I'm like, and now that I delivered like groceries and stuff like that, I'm like, I would live there. Like, that's how much I love the city. I'm like, and then I get stories from guys that are like, no, you wouldn't live there. No, you wouldn't.
You're not there at night.
Yeah, for sure. So,
Look at, we already got Mike answered with 805.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, they're all talking. Bunch of alcoholics. That's what they are.
Well, you know, it's funny because, you know, we just talked about the world you guys are living in and the things you're trying to do. And you talk to a lot of veterans. We get a lot of water. You know, I don't drink now, so it's
iced tea with sugar.
Or if Eric's around, it's iced tea with sugar.
Yeah, we had a couple Southerners on, and I'm like, "Hey, you drink that iced tea with sugar?"
Oh, we call it Kool-Aid.
Is that sweet tea? Oh, sweet tea. Yeah, iced tea with the sugar.
No, Kool-Aid's just straight sugar with coloring. Coloring.
Yeah.
That's a California delicacy for sure.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That's food coloring and sugar. That's it. Food coloring and sugar.
So, Samara, we have to talk about some wine, though. You know, on another time.
Yeah,
I would love to.
I am so down.
Dude,
all right.
You guys can do a.
There you go. We're
that's Mikey's alley right now.
Yeah.
AngelicWines.com.
Yeah,
Go check
don't I
them
look
out.
like I look like a wine guy? You know, I'm all tatted up, big old dude drinking wine.
They'd be like, "Sir, can you leave, please?" Thank you.
Yeah. Especially when you go to
Well,
those
you-
higher end
Oh,
places.
they've had it. He's got a couple of stories too.
Right there. You see Big Kev right there? He just commented.
With
Anything
vodka.
with
This dude's like,
There you
no, this is a 7-foot Viking that fucking drinks wine out of a long stem, like
There
white
you go.
wine.
From medieval times.
He'd be
Yeah.
drinking that rosé.
Yeah.
He's
He
like
does.
rosé all day.
He's a fancy dude now.
Them bougie.
Man, we
Love you,
appreciate
bro. Love you,
we
dude.
appreciate the work you all are doing. You know, you're doing amazing things, and we couldn't thank you enough.
Yeah.
Not only for what you're doing now, but what you did to protect our country,
Yep.
stand up for our
For
country.
sure.
So we need to remember that pride and remember those people that did that, like you guys are doing right now.
Thank
So
you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for your support. We really appreciate your time and letting us get our word out. Thank
Yes,
you.
sir. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You guys have a great evening, and man,
Cheers,
just
guys.
let us know how we can help in the
Yeah.
future.
Will do.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Dang, we
Cheers.
just got no water tonight, man.
Losers.
I know.
All right, guys.
Complete losers. All right.
All right, guys.
See you later,
Have a good
guys.
night.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Dude, that was fun. I mean,
I-
it was very like insightful.
It was all
But-
over the place again. Like
Yeah.
it was this and that or the other. And I was curious to see how things were going to play out. But dude, again, it's
Just great people
Man, I
doing
tell
great
ya.
things.
and the gyms set off all over the place. People just got to find them, man.
Yeah.
People just got to find them.
And man, we appreciate everybody that was watching tonight, commenting.
Yeah, high score 23 or 25.
Don't be calling out too much. And then somebody went and added Facebook to the stream.
Oh, you saw
somehow.
that?
Yeah, I seen it.
So what does
pop
that
up.
work in? So it won't go on there now?
No, it's on there. It's on
You
there.
don't want it
Pink,
on
yeah.
there.
No, it was we could talk about that off the show.
Okay.
Why I took it off. So
Oh.
well,
Oh.
first we got to go pinky up. I love that. And then thank you, Nana Penny.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Nana Penny.
Dude, just I feel great about what they're doing.
Yeah.
And you know, doing it in a city like Stockton, for anybody that has lived there, been around there, you know, you're already working against a lot in a city like that. And to have these guys, thank you, Tracy, to have these guys doing and girls doing the work they're doing is just phenomenal.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
thank you to the Combat Vets Association 33-2 out of Stockton, Ryan and Samara.
Samara.
We look at that.
And
Now she's not
Ryan.
on. You're
I
saying
know.
her name right.
Been
so,
working on it the whole time.
yeah. So great job, dude. This is a great group to grab. So
For sure.
thank you to you
Yeah.
for
Oh, yeah.
getting them on.
I knew it was coming. I just didn't know how we were going to set it up. So
Hey, it is what it is. And
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was I'm really glad we got them, because that was eye-opening.
yeah, it was a good time. It was good timing is what I should say.
Right.
Got their stuff coming up and
Yeah, with their Christmas. So we'll be watching them. No, thank you, Big Kev.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I hope to meet you someday, the big Viking that drinks wine. I hope to meet you. That'd be awesome. We could go walk into a winery together and scare
Yeah.
the crap out of everybody.
Oh man, someone's got a warrant.
All the it
Someone's got
looks like
a
a warrant. A warrant walking in. All right, buddy.
All right, dude.
Deuces. Oh, how do I do this again?